Hello there, welcome to Siyasa TV. It's Wednesday, May 5th, 2021. I am Sumaya Junaid Ahmad in Hyderabad, where we get you all the big news stories of the day from across the India and the world. And here is our top headlines.
3,82,350 new coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours and 3,780 deaths. This is the highest ever deaths that India have ever recorded. The Allahabad High Court has hauled up Uttar Pradesh government over COVID deaths amid oxygen shortage, saying where deaths of COVID patients due to non-supply of oxygen is not less than a genocide. The Delhi High Court has slammed the centre once again over shortage of oxygen in Delhi. India's only woman Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has sworn in today for third term, and BJP President JP Nadda is holding a dharna against political violence that ensued post-election. The central government has revised the country's coronavirus testing rules to reduce pressure on clinics, helping healthy interstate travelers and COVID patients discharged from hospitals don't need to be tested. Two people have been arrested after South Bengaluru BJP MP Tejasvi Surya accused city municipal officials of accepting bribe to allot hospital beds in the city. And the United States President Joe Biden says that they are providing oxygen and supplies to India, and they are doing a lot. Supreme Court agrees to hear plea to pause Central Vista working amid COVID. Kangana Ranaut's Twitter account permanently suspended after she calls Modi to tame Mamata Banerjee. In a span of 24 hours, Telangana reports 6,361 cases and 51 fatalities. Iraq Health Minister Hassan al-Tamimi resigns over hospital fire that killed over 80 people.
Let us begin with our top story. 3,780 people died of COVID in India in the last 24 hours, the highest in a day so far, pushing the total fatalities to 2,26,188. India's COVID caseload hit a 2.6 crore with over 3.82 lakh new cases as the crisis continues to crush the healthcare system.
Even as many quarters demanded a country-wide lockdown to rein in pandemic, large parts of India are under strict curb for varying periods. In terms of total caseload, Maharashtra is followed by Kerala, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Delhi. India is second only to the United States in the total number of cases reported since the beginning of the pandemic.
Moving on to our next news, the Allahabad High Court on Tuesday howled up Uttar Pradesh government over COVID-19 deaths amid oxygen shortage in the state, saying that death of COVID patient just for non-supplying of oxygen to the hospital is a criminal act and no less than a genocide.
The bench said, "We are at pain in observing that death of COVID patients just for non-supplying of oxygen to the hospitals is a criminal act and not less than a genocide by those who have been entrusted the task to ensure continuous procurement and supply chain of the liquid medical oxygen." A bench of Justices Ajit Kumar and Siddhartha Varma also ordered an inquiry into deaths at various hospitals in Meerut and Lucknow, taking note of videos showing people begging for oxygen which had gone viral on social media.
And the Delhi High Court on Tuesday asked the central government to divert the utilized tankers of oxygen to Delhi from states like Maharashtra, where the coronavirus decree situation is improving. A bench of Justices Vipin Sanghi and Rekha Palli came down heavily on the centre over the shortage of oxygen supply in the national capital and said, "You may be blind, but we are not. We cannot shut our eyes. This is so insensitive and unfortunate."
When Additional Solicitor General Chetan Sharma, representing the central government, said in response that these are rhetorical statements, the court hit back. The bench said it is only rhetorical statement. The reality, you may be blind, but we are not. We cannot shut our eyes. This is so insensitive and unfortunate. How can you make such a statement?
Moving on to West Bengal, Trinamool Congress Chief Mamata Banerjee took oath as West Bengal Chief Minister today for the third consecutive term in presence of Governor Jagdeep Dhankar at Raj Bhavan in Kolkata. Congratulating Mamata Banerjee for the third consecutive victory, Governor Jagdeep Dhankar said he has every hope that Chief Minister will restore rule of law in the state in accord to relieved and heard priority basis, and the BJP President JP Nadda is holding a dharna against the political violence that is ensued post-election.
বিধি দ্বারা স্থাপিত ভারতের সংবিধানের প্রতি আমি অকৃত্রিম নিষ্ঠা ও আনুগত্য পোষণ করিব।
I congratulate Chief Minister Mamata Bandyopadhyay for her third term. I express hope and expectation that governance will be according to Constitution and rule of law. India is a great democracy where power emanates from process of law. We are at the moment in a very difficult crisis. I am getting reports from within and outside the country. People are worried. I have been in touch with the Honorable Chief Minister. She has taken steps when I indicated to her. Our first priority is we must bring end to this senseless violence, horrendous violence that has affected society at large. Post-poll violence, if it is retributive, is antithetical to democracy. I have every hope that the Chief Minister on urgent basis will take all steps to restore rule of law and ensure that those who have been hurt, particularly children and women, relief is accorded on a priority basis. I would also expect from the new government a new commitment, a new approach of cooperative federalism. It's a country where we survive only by adherence to constitutional prescriptions. I have every hope the Chief Minister, my younger sister, would rise to the occasion. It is not usual for a person to get a third term in a row, and I am sure she would do it.
पश्चिम बंगाल के चुनाव के नतीजों के बाद जो घटनाएं देखने को और सुनने को मिली हैं वो हमें हतप्रभ करती हैं, चिंता में डालती हैं, क्योंकि शायद ऐसी घटनाएं भारत के विभाजन के समय मैंने सुना था, लेकिन उस आज़ाद भारत में अब चुनाव के नतीजों के पश्चात इतनी असहिष्णुता, इनटॉलरेंस हमने आज दिन तक नहीं देखा है। कार्यकर्ताओं पर जो प्रहार हो रहा है उसको व्यक्तिगत रूप से देखने के लिए और उन कार्यकर्ताओं के साथ इस विपत्ति काल में खड़े होकर के प्रजातांत्रिक तरीके से इस लड़ाई को लड़ने के लिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी कृत संकल्प है। वी आर कमिटेड टू फाइट दिस आइडियोलॉजिकल बैटल and the activities of TMC, which is full of intolerance, and we are ready to fight democratically. प्रजातांत्रिक तरीके से हम इस लड़ाई को लड़ेंगे। आज मैं व्यक्तिगत रूप में देखने आया हूं, अभी मैं 24 परगना जाऊंगा, बाद में उन कार्यकर्ताओं के घर जाऊंगा जिनकी जीवन लीला चुनाव के नतीजों के कुछ घंटे बाद उनके साथ हुई।
The central government has revised the country's coronavirus testing rules to reduce pressure on diagnostic labs amid spurt of coronavirus cases. Healthy interstate travelers and COVID patients being discharged from the hospital after recovery must not be tested. The centre said over 2,500 labs in the country are working under tremendous pressure because of the rapidly growing caseloads.
The need for RT-PCR test in healthy individuals undertaking interstate domestic travel may be completely removed to reduce the load on laboratories, the center said in a circular to states. It added no testing is required for COVID-19 recovered individuals at the time of hospital discharge. The center said people who tested positive once either by rapid test or the gold standard RT-PCR must not be tested again. The government added non-essential travel of people with COVID symptoms should be avoided to reduce the risk of infection.
And 2 people have been arrested and others are being questioned after BJP Bengaluru South MP Tejasvi Surya accused city municipal officials of accepting bribes to allot hospital beds in the city. A precarious commodity and COVID pandemic rages. The arrested have been identified as Rohit and Netra. They allegedly charged between Rs 25,000 to Rs 50,000 for a bed, and police have recovered Rs 1.5 lakh from their bank accounts.
Mr. Surya alleged a nexus of BBMP officials and frontline health workers was conspiring to buy these beds after snatching them away from critically ill people. BBMP officials would then, he said, find someone to buy the bed.
Every day there are so many patients who are getting discharged, so many patients who are unfortunately dying and getting discharged, and therefore there must be beds that must be made available. But check the BBMP website at any point in the day or any point in the night, the BBMP bed booking software shows that all beds are blocked. How does this take place? So many people, there's a nexus of certain BBMP officers, certain Arogya Mitras in hospitals and certain private agents outside who have made this bribe for bed scam. So asymptomatic patients are blocked beds. People who are at home isolation, who are not even aware, who are not even in need of hospitalization, beds are blocked under their names and under their BU numbers. Thereafter, certain people who are outside agents speak to the people in charge in the war rooms and then re-allot the bed to those people who make a certain payment to a certain person outside. So this allotting of beds to asymptomatic patients, later re-allotting it to patients based on certain pecuniary or otherwise considerations, is a most disgusting thing that can take place during a pandemic. Second, in the last 7-8 days, the data that we have analyzed, more than 4,065 cases have come to light where beds that have been booked by the BBMP have gotten auto unblocked. What does this mean? A certain patient who does not need a bed is allotted a bed. Thereafter, for a period of 12 hours, the bed is reserved in his name. Every patient gets 12 hours to go and get himself admitted. One, I do not understand why there must be 12 hours of time when people want to get to the hospital bed in all urgency. There is no rationale for keeping it for as long as 12 hours. So once a bed is allotted, for 12 hours, the BBMP authorities try to find somebody to sell the bed along with these agents.
The United States is helping India significantly in its fight against the second wave of COVID-19 by sending its material and machines part, President Joe Biden said today. So far, 6 air shipments funded by the United States Agency for International Development have been departed the United States for India. These flights include health supplies, oxygen cylinders, N95 masks and medicines.
We're helping India significantly. I spoke to Prime Minister Modi. What he needs most is he needs the material and the parts to be able to have his machines that can make the vaccine work. We're sending him that. We're sending him oxygen. We're sending him a lot of the precursors. So we're doing a lot for India. With regard to the AstraZeneca vaccine, which we have sent that vaccine to Canada and to Mexico. And there are other countries that we're talking to now. As a matter of fact, I talked to a head of state today. I'm not prepared to announce who else we'll be giving the vaccine to. But we are going to, by the 4th of July, have sent about 10% of what we have to other nations, including some of the ones you mentioned.
The Supreme Court today said it will decide the date of hearing a petition which seeks suspension of construction work on the ambitious Central Vista project at a time when country is grappling with a deadly second wave of the COVID-19, which has killed thousands and crippling the healthcare system. The opposition and activists have been hitting out hard at the government of persisting with the project despite the pandemic.
Senior advocate Siddharth Luthra, who represents two petitioners, had requested the Chief Justice of India to take up the plea after the Delhi High Court deferred the hearing of the request till May 17. The petitioners said they are concerned about the work going on along central Delhi's Rajpath and around India Gate and not the construction of a new parliament building. The construction of rupees 20,000 crore project in the heart of the national capital has been brought under the ambit of essential services, angering the opposition.
Actor Kangana Ranaut's Twitter account was permanently suspended on Tuesday following her remarks on post-poll violence in West Bengal. In a tweet on Monday, the actor called upon Prime Minister Narendra Modi to use his Virat troop from his early 2000s to tame Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee.
A statement released by the social media giant stated, "We've been clear that we will take strong enforcement action on behavior that has the potential to lead to offline harm." The referenced account has been permanently suspended for repeated violations of Twitter rules, specifically our hateful conduct policy and abusive behavior policy. We enforce the Twitter rules judicially and impartially for everyone on our service.
Let us shift our focus to Telangana, where COVID cases continue to surge in the state. Corona positive cases continue to rise in Telangana. There were 6,361 new COVID-19 infections and 51 fatalities in the state on Tuesday, pushing the cumulative number of deaths to 2,527 and the total number of positive cases to 4,69,722. The number of active cases in the state is now 77,704.
Between Monday and Tuesday, authorities conducted 77,435 COVID rapid tests, of which test results of 3,882 samples are awaited. On Monday, 8,126 individuals have recovered, with the recovery rate being 82.91%. The highest number of cases were reported from Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, that is 1,225.
The next 2 days in Telangana are likely to be pleasing as Indian Meteorological Department predicted rainfall for the next 2 days. The weathermen attributed the reason to the trough from Vidarbha region to interior Karnataka, covering the Kerala at 0.9 km from the sea level.
Several districts, including Hyderabad, witnessed rainfall on Tuesday, bringing down the temperature by 3 degrees Celsius. On Monday, the western and central parts of Hyderabad received 50 mm of rainfall. Patancheru, Srilingampalli, Gachibowli, MLA Colony, Banjara Hills and Nampalli witnessed heavy rainfall.
Moving on to our international news, Iraq's Health Minister Hassan al-Tamimi resigned on Tuesday over a fire from exploding oxygen tank at Baghdad COVID-19 hospital last month that killed more than 80 people. Prime Minister Mustafa al-Khadimi's cabinet also ordered a dismissal of the director of Ibn Khatib Hospital and other senior hospital officials. The entire hospital had been converted to treat COVID-19 patients.
The 24th of April blaze highlighted the neglect of a healthcare system that was one of the best in the Middle East but has been wrecked by conflict, international sanctions, the US-led invasion of Iraq in 2003 and rampant statewide corruption since then. Tamimi had been suspended immediately after the fire. The government lifted his suspension on Tuesday, but he immediately resigned. The government has ordered hospitals across the country to review and implement better health and safety procedures.
Myanmar's junta-controlled media announced a ban on satellite television receivers on Tuesday, saying outside broadcasts threaten national security and threatening to jail anyone caught violating the measures. With mobile internet access largely cut off in bid to quell anti-junta protests since 1st of February coup, Myanmar has increasingly appeared headed back to the state of isolation that predicted a decade of democratic reforms.
MRTV state television said satellite television is no longer legal. Whoever violates the television and video law, especially people using satellite dishes, shall be punished with 1 year imprisonment and a fine of $320. Illegal media outlets are broadcasting news that undermines national security, the rule of law and public order, and encouraging those who commit treason. In the face of widespread opposition, the junta has struggled to impose order since overthrowing elected leaders leader Aung San Suu Kyi and ending an unsteady transition to democracy.
Before we wrap up our bulletin, let us have a look on our headlines.
382,350 new coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours and 3,780 deaths. This is the highest ever deaths that India have ever recorded. The Allahabad High Court has hauled up Uttar Pradesh government over COVID deaths amid oxygen shortage, saying where deaths of COVID patients due to non-supply of oxygen is not less than a genocide. The Delhi High Court has slammed the centre once again over shortage of oxygen in Delhi. India's only woman Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has sworn in today for third term, and BJP President JP Nadda is holding a dharna against political violence that ensued post-election. The central government has revised the country's coronavirus testing rules to reduce pressure on clinics, helping healthy interstate travellers and COVID patients discharged from hospitals don't need to be tested. 2 people have been arrested after South Bengaluru BJP MP Tejasvi Surya accused city municipal officials of accepting bribe to allot hospital beds in the city. And the United States President Joe Biden says that they are providing oxygen and supplies to India, and they are doing a lot. Supreme Court agrees to hear plea to pause Central Vista working amid COVID. Kangana Ranaut's Twitter account permanently suspended after she calls Modi to tame Mamata Banerjee. In a span of 24 hours, Telangana reports 6,361 cases and 51 fatalities. Iraq Health Minister Hassan al-Tamimi resigns over hospital fire that killed over 80 people.
Well, that is the Siyasat TV English news for this Wednesday. Thanks for watching. I am Sumaya Junaid Ahmed. Have a great day.